Hello, hello. Hello, everyone. Happy Friday again. Let me know in the comments if you're here joining live today as we get situated. I'll give a few seconds for people to jump on live. Hi, Krista. Hello. Good to see you. Welcome to the live today. Kelly's here. Hello, I'm here. Great to see you. Let me take a quips. So today we're going to continue reading the book Inner Genius, Outer Guru. Specifically, we're going to dive into chapter 5, which is Connect with Your Inner Genius for Infinite Confidence. So if you're ready for connecting with your inner genius and gaining confidence, type in confidence in the comments. If you're ready for that confidence boost today, that's what we're going to be creating here. I'm going to take a quick sip. It is one of the longer chapters, so get your favorite beverage or something with you, and so that way we're ready to dive in. Confidence, awesome. Yes. So without further ado, let's dive in. If you have a copy of the book, you can read along with me if you'd like, or you could just listen to me reading. And so opening to chapter 5, Connect with Your Inner Genius for Infinite Confidence. I know what my goal is, but I don't feel like I have what it takes to achieve it, Rose said to me as we began our session on that warm, sunny day in May. I know where I want to go in my business, but I don't have the confidence to do what it takes to get there, she said. Gauging her state of mind and where she was stuck at that moment, I responded, "It is good to hear that you have clarity on where you are and where you want to go. Now that you have clarity on what direction you want to focus on, the next step is to get clarity on who you are from within." Let me know in the comments if you have felt, as Rose was feeling, that you know where you want to go, but you don't feel like you have the confidence to do what it takes to get there. Put in the comments, me, if you resonate with that, if you've been there yourself. She gazed at me with a hint of excitement. Kelly says, me, great. She gazed at me with a hint of excitement, but still quite puzzled. The topic of self-confidence leads us to the exploration of your self-worth. I continued. Having a sense of worthiness from within is what will create the confidence that you are seeking to be able to achieve your goals. She looked at me with interest, but did not know where to begin this exploratory journey. She continued to stare with anticipation for where we would turn to next. But first, we must begin with the basics, I said, to give her curiosity a sense of direction. Below is the foundation you will need to understand to then be able to connect with the source of unlimited confidence from within yourself. Why most businesses struggle to grow. I was having dinner with Arjun at a Thai restaurant in San Diego when he asked me, "Do you know why most people start a business?" I reflecting on his context of an Indian cultural background. I said, "You mean to make money and to put food on the table?" He nodded in agreement and said, "Yes, basically, they need to survive." He was referring to the base physiological tier from Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I got what he was trying to point out to me. I told him I understood. At that moment, a thought came to me like lightning, and I asked Arjun, "Do you know why most people struggle to grow their businesses? Why do most young businesses fail to hold up?" Puzzled, he looked up from his menu and said, "No, I don't know." My heart jumped with joy as the dots connected in my mind, and I said, "Hint, the answer is in the answer to the first question you just asked me." He scratched his head for a moment and then said, "Is it because most people start a business to make money and survive?" I nodded, "Yes, indeed. It is the survival mode and scarcity-based thinking that create struggle." I explained, "A business is not meant to be a means for mere survival. It's meant to be a vehicle for self-actualization," referring to the highest tier of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. A business is the means for providing greatest levels of service to the world. It is meant to bring fulfillment to the business owner, while abundance is a natural byproduct of it. In order for a business to thrive, the business owner needs to be in the creative mode instead of mere survival mode. That's what makes all the difference. Both Arjun and I were amazed at the insight this innocent conversation had brought us. We had found an interesting concept to explore the depths of business success over a simple meal of spring rolls, tom yum soup, and Thai curry. Survival versus creation mode. You are told that it is normal to live in survival mode. That is how all the animals live. They live to eat, sleep, procreate, and die. There is no space for creation in their routines. Then why do you, as a human, have higher faculties of mind to be able to create something out of nothing? Why do you have an awareness that allows you to observe your thoughts, emotions, behaviors, and be present with your intuition? Why do you have an urge within yourself to want to be more, do more, have more, experience more? Perhaps you as a human are a higher manifestation of the divine, and you have been gifted the talents and abilities to create and manifest the world around you in ways that only the higher power that created you can. Why do you end up staying in and living in survival mode then? More importantly, why do you think that creating something as magnificent as your dreams would be possible by staying in the survival mode? Let me know in the comments, put a question mark if you are in this inquiry with me here. And if you're asking the same questions to yourself that this book chapter is asking right now. Why? I see question marks. Great. Why don't you make a conscious effort to move from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset? From a I know it all to an I want to learn something new. From I am a victim to life and I must endure it to I am the creator of my circumstances, so let me learn how I can shape them for the benefit of all. Perhaps you don't understand who you truly are and what your true powers are. Or perhaps you don't realize the actual impacts of living in survival mode. The survival mode is the state of being where you are constantly in fear and worry about your survival and existence in this physical world. When you are constantly concerned about yourself, your vision becomes narrow, and you cannot think beyond your existence and all possible threats to it. Creation mode is all about contributing value to others. All creativity is the expression of the divine to bring love, joy, and celebration to humanity. Then how can creativity exist in survival mode? How can growth happen by staying in the self-obsessive tunnel vision? The true impact of living in survival mode is that all creativity and growth is sacrificed. All love, joy, and celebration are abandoned. The pursuit of wealth and prosperity turns into a heavy burden instead of being an exciting adventure. Human relationships become a lie. Inauthenticity grows at the expense of integrity and truth. Before you know it, your whole life becomes like living a lie, and you suffer. You suffer in more ways than one: physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, socially, and environmentally. All human suffering arises from living in survival mode. The payoff, of course, is also quite compelling. By living in survival mode, you get to be fixed in your mindset, set in your ways, don't need to grow or change, and can be right while making others wrong. You can be judgmental of others' actions and beliefs to change while feeling like a victim all along. This resistance to change is enormous and can become harder and harder to break as time goes on. So long as you live in survival mode, you are doomed to the limitations of the unconscious mind, which only reacts to the surrounding world. You are not open to any new possibilities beyond your past experiences. In order to create abundance and prosperity in your life, you have your creative faculties to tap into, which can only open up by going beyond the survival mode into the creative zone. When you fully get present to the impact of the survival mode, you can perhaps contemplate on the possibility of exploring something beyond it, of going into a creative and growth mode. And then we have a quote. The quote goes like this: living life fully has nothing to do with conforming to other people's opinions, and everything to do with listening to the tune of your intuition. So here's the question: listening to your intuition, do you think that this comes from living in the survival mode or being in the creation mode? Put survival in the comment if you think it comes from survival mode, and put creation if you think it comes from the creation mode. Let me know if you're with me so far. Put survival or creation. And I'm going to pause. Creation, Krista says. Yes, you would be correct on that. And Kelly says creation. Yes, you'd be correct on that. And so with that, I'm going to continue with the next section, which has a story. Connect with your true talents. I had a client, Brian, who came to a session and said to me that he had found the Enneagram type list below over the internet while Googling about personality traits, and he went through the 9 types to figure out which one he resonated with. At the time of our discussion, neither of us knew these were the 9 Enneagram personality types that we were looking at. He said he identified with numbers 1 through 7 and number 9. So he had crossed off number 8 type. When I looked at it all with him in the session, I recognized that he had crossed off or dismissed the 1 type, which was his true self. When I asked Brian why he had crossed off number 8, it turned out to be his fear, which was clouding his vision from being able to see who he truly was. Ironically, it was number 8 type that he had most deeply desired to be all of his life. He had the desire to be that type because in his heart of hearts, his true self already knew that he was number 8 type, and he had yet to recognize who he truly was and then live up to his true potential in this life. During this session, Ryan recognized the fear which had clouded his vision up to that point. Now, looking past the fear, he saw that he is the number 8 type more than anything else, and his true natural gift and potential is in the number 8 type. After this realization, he felt free to be himself, his true self from within. He was liberated from the fears that were keeping him small and stuck, confined in his illusion of mediocrity. I want the same for you. Take a look at the 9 types below and notice which types you identify with right away and which types you feel like crossing off. Then examine the type you feel like crossing off more closely. Notice if there are any fears clouding your vision regarding this type. It is usually harder to see your fears, just like it is hard to see in your blind spot while driving. Hence, I recommend you ask for support from a trusted friend or an experienced guide for this exercise. I usually offer this type of support for my clients. Together, we can uncover all the fears and doubts clouding the vision of my client so that they can truly see what their inner strengths and natural gifts are. This way they can see who they thought they were and have been acting like versus who they truly are from within as their true self. And then there's a list of all the 9 types. And if you have the book copy, you can read through them and do that exercise. And I'm going to keep reading after the list of the 9 types. Your natural gifts are usually hidden in plain sight, and so it is often difficult for you to see them for yourself. It is easy to dismiss your talents and abilities, but they can be a huge blessing to other people when you express them in an authentic way. One of my favorite movies as a kid and as an adult is The Lion King. It is the story of how a little cub, Simba, goes through a childhood trauma of losing his father, who was the king of the jungle. Let me know, put in the comments Lion King if you have seen that Disney movie, The Lion King, or if you have heard this story. After this trauma, Simba forgets his dream of growing up and becoming the king of the jungle, just like his father was. He abandons his jungle to live an ordinary life of other animals. This story is very much like the story of a lot of humans in their adult lives. Krista says Lion King. Yes. Yes, so if you've heard the story, you can relate to Simba's story. And so just like Simba had forgotten his true identity and later remembered who he was, you may have forgotten your true identity, and it is now time for you to remember who you are. Just like Simba realized that he was the king of the jungle and that he was meant to rule and protect his jungle community, you can realize that you are the king or queen of your territory and are meant to lead and protect your unique community, whatever that looks like and feels like for you. Just like Simba recognized his duty and made a choice to live his calling, you can recognize your duty and choose to live your calling. Following the path of your calling, which is also your dharma, will lead you toward your divinely ordained destiny. Allow the story from the Lion King to inspire you toward your self-discovery. Use this example to reconnect with who you truly are and what you are meant to be doing as part of your dharma on this planet. When a forgotten childhood dream comes back to life, it feels just right in your heart. Similarly, when you remember your calling, it will feel just right for you. You will know without the shadow of a doubt that it is what you are meant to be doing in this life through your business. Then I have a quote here. The quote goes like this: connect with the world by connecting with your true self within. The power of practicing self-approval and self-acknowledgement. We're moving to another powerful story here with a moral of this, a very important moral of this story. As a child, I was often advised that I should seek approval from an adult before attempting anything new. Type in the comments if you resonate with that. If you were always advised to seek approval, type in approval in the comment. At the time, this was for my safety, so that I would not get hurt by things I did not understand. Thus, I grew up with a habit of needing approval for everything I did. I developed a habit of seeking approval from someone outside of me, like an adult or an authority figure, who somehow knew more about the real world than I did. Yeah, I see approval, Kelly, Krista. Yeah, we all grow up with this need for approval. I relied on people other than myself to tell me what to do and when. When you grow up with this habit of needing approval from outside of yourself, from some authority figure who perhaps knows more than you, this can work in your favor when you are dealing with the outer world of complex consequences and pitfalls you need to navigate through. Asking for help and support from trusted experts and guides can be helpful in your journey to success. However, when it comes to your inner world, discovering who you truly are and understanding your journey with clarity in this life, it becomes paramount to look for that guidance from within yourself. When it comes to your inner world, it is important to understand and practice self-approval and self-acknowledgement. Entrepreneurship can be a lonely journey, and if you are always looking outside for approval and acknowledgement, you may never find those, which can leave you feeling drained. It is in those moments when you feel depleted, discouraged, defeated, and are on the verge of giving up that you most need to understand what is missing and shift your perspective. I coach my clients to shift their mindset from needing approval and acknowledgement from outside authorities to gaining that approval and acknowledgement from a reservoir of infinite intelligence within themselves. This exercise is extremely powerful for all my clients because they can now rely on a guide that is always with them. And with that support, they can take action to move forward with confidence and clarity. A client of mine, Mark, was upset that one of his customers had not given them the same amount of orders allocation this year as they had last year. I asked Mark what he was truly upset about, and when we dug deeper, he realized that he was upset because he had collapsed the orders allocation with personal acknowledgement and was upset because he felt unacknowledged for all the work that he had put into serving this customer so far. In this session with Mark, we uncovered and got clarity that the decision of how much orders allocation to make was a business decision and needed to be made by the customer. Mark could not control that business decision. However, the true cause of his upset was the feeling of under-acknowledgement, which could be addressed by Mark directly from within himself. This is where we applied the concept of self-acknowledgement. I asked Mark to close his eyes, take a few deep breaths, and relax. Now, in this relaxed state of being, I asked him to imagine being acknowledged for all the work he has put into this business so far. I asked him to self-affirm by saying, I acknowledge myself for all the work I put in to grow my business and serve my customers. Further, I asked him to give himself a pat on the back and say, I am proud of myself for my dedication, service, and commitment to my work. In this way, Mark recognized himself for his contribution like he had never been recognized before. Mark felt rejuvenated through this. During that session, there was a major shift in his perception of approval and acknowledgement. He no longer needed to depend on customers, his parents, or any other people for approval and acknowledgement. He could choose to listen to his inner guidance, take a moment, and acknowledge himself, and celebrate his wins from within. So he now was truly free to be himself. He was free from the upset he originally came into the session with. This new state of being is what I call the state of true freedom. Freedom where you are no longer dependent on things or people outside of your direct control to define your inner state of being. This is what I encourage every entrepreneur to embrace so that you can take on anything life throws at you and still be grounded in your essence. Then there's a quote, and the quote goes like this: whenever you feel the need for outside approval, just choose self-approval instead. Let me know in the comments if you are ready to start practicing self-approval and self-acknowledgement. Put in the comments self-approval if you are ready to take this on for yourself. And if you see how this can give you a huge boost in self-confidence, in your confidence, by practicing self-approval from now on. Krista says self-approval. Great job. The art of expanding your comfort zone. You often hear that growth exists. Kelly says self-approval. Yes. Powerful. Very powerful. The art of expanding your comfort zone. You often hear that growth exists outside the comfort zone. You also hear things like fake it till you make it, but find it hard to understand and implement. So often when you want to create growth, you feel like you have to force yourself to step outside of your current comfort zone. When you forcefully step outside your comfort zone, initially it may feel euphoric. Interestingly, however, an all or nothing phenomenon starts happening. You feel like you have to be totally outside the comfort zone to achieve growth and success. But then when you are outside the comfort zone and something unfamiliar happens, you feel unsafe and feel like you need to completely retreat back into your comfort zone to feel safe again. Now this all or nothing phenomenon starts to develop into a yo-yo pattern. Type in the comments yo-yo if you have experienced being in this yo-yo pattern, personally or professionally or in your business, where you went to do something new and you know it needs to be done for growth in your next, to move towards your next goal, but then you felt like you reverted back to your comfort zone. Just put yo-yo. Yes, Kelly says yo-yo. No matter how euphoric, yeah, Krista says yo-yo. No matter how euphoric it feels in the short term, it's not sustainable as a growth strategy for the long term. This yo-yo pattern indicates that the mindset behind a particular goal hasn't been expanded yet. So the strategic actions being taken in the short term aren't creating sustainable, long-term, authentic growth. There is a difference between the saying that growth is outside the comfort zone and the truth I've found that growth is in the process of expanding the comfort zone. For long-lasting results and sustainable growth, it's important to not just step out of the comfort zone, but actually expand the comfort zone to include the new territory in the comfort zone and safety zone now, which earlier was outside the comfort zone. This requires connecting with the version of yourself who is already in the expanded comfort zone and merging with that version of you to become one with it. It requires owning that part of you who is the expanded version of you as the true and authentic version of you, so you can honor it with love and respect. Once you are one with that version of yourself who feels safe in the expanded comfort zone, you have more room to move around in. You can truly take the actions that are within the new expanded comfort zone without having to force yourself to do anything. Instead of being in the yo-yo pattern, now you can just be free to be you, the new expanded version of you that is. This is the method I recommend for creating consistent growth in an authentic and aligned way. This is what I've found to be foundationally beautiful way of creating consistent, long-lasting growth in business and life. Type in the comments expansion if you understand the difference between stepping out of your comfort zone and then having to revert back and be in this yo-yo pattern versus actually expanding your comfort zone, stepping into and connecting with the version of yourself that is the expanded version of you. Type in expansion if you are with me on this part. And then I will continue reading the next part. Kelly says expansion. And if you have a question, type in a question in the comment. And I'm happy to answer any questions as well. Yes, this is a very powerful thing to realize, expansion. Understanding and acknowledging your emotions. Another key to being grounded in your essence is in recognizing your emotions. As I say to my clients, emotions are energy in motion. The law of conservation of energy states that energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It can only be converted from one form to another. Therefore, ignoring emotions never leads to productive outcomes. In fact, suppressing emotions can lead to a lot of confusion and overwhelm in your entrepreneurial journey. I also say to my clients that emotions are like important messengers that come up to show you something that you did not know was in your way. Once you can recognize, acknowledge, and release what has been in your way, your journey becomes much easier. It becomes full of ease and flow after the important message from the emotions has been received. My clients usually come in with unacknowledged emotions, which are often causing them a lot of confusion, stress, and anxiety. We deep dive into it together and uncover what emotions are under the surface of the situation they are dealing with, and after shining the light on the exact emotion that is running the show underneath the so-called upsetting situation or circumstance, my client is able to shift their perspective to a new way of looking at the same situation, which would be more empowering for them to move forward with. What emotions are you harboring under your conscious awareness, which are causing you confusion, overwhelm, anxiety, or stress? Once you uncover what the emotions are, do you have some tools to safely acknowledge and release them from your body and emotional system? I have trained myself in several powerful tools and created my unique method called Clear Intention Healing as a tool which I use to help my clients achieve freedom from the nagging emotions and negative thought patterns holding them back. Through careful introspection and with the help of the power of your intention, you are able to release the limiting thoughts and feelings which turn into behaviors and create space for empowering thoughts, uplifting feelings, which turn to empowering behaviors for your journey. If you would like to get a taste of this process, reach out to my team and we will walk you through your personalized transformation. Using the same energy that was blocking your success to now be a propellant for your movement toward your goals is what I call alchemy. Since energy cannot be created or destroyed, and it takes tremendous amounts of energy to move toward your goals, you need to harvest that energy from your success from somewhere, for your success from somewhere. In this case, you choose to harvest that energy, which serves as fuel to propel you forward in your path to your definition of success from the subconscious blocks and emotions which are currently trying to keep you safe, but in fact hindering your growth. It is like magic, turning copper into gold, or a pigeon into a goldfish. Together, it is possible to turn your limitations into your biggest propellant for your strengths, which carry you to your success. Type in the comments, magic, if you can see how alchemy could be true for you and how you could take the energy that's trapped in disempowering thoughts and emotions right now and turn that energy around where it can start to become fuel to help you move towards your goals. Just type in magic in the comments if you're with me on this. And if you've joined live, after the fact. Let me know in the comments where you're joining from. I see Magic. Krista said Magic. Absolutely. And Kelly says Magic. And if you joined after we started, please let me know in the comments where you're joining from today. And if you're watching on the replay, put hashtag replay and let me know where you are watching the replay from. And I'm going to continue reading the next section. The importance of self-confidence in business. In any moment of life, you have a choice between struggle and growth. Every time you choose struggle over growth, you lose your self-confidence. Your self-confidence is directly linked to your connection with your true self, your inner genius. Consistently choosing struggle over growth causes you to lose your connection with your true self. So the way to increase your self-confidence is about reconnecting with your true self. Every time you choose growth over struggle, you grow a stronger connection with your inner genius. As you reconnect with your inner genius, your self-confidence automatically increases and grows stronger. So in any moment, ask yourself, how can you choose growth over struggle? Your choices create your life. Choosing your growth is the way to creating prosperity in your business and freedom in your life. When you are ready to make growth a consistent choice in your life, you are ready to have an experienced guide support you in your entrepreneurial journey. To get the most out of this reading, complete the self-discovery exercises in the worksheet provided in the companion workbook. To access the companion workbook online with fillable worksheets, see the Gift for Readers page at the end of this book. And my team can put in the chat of the event the direct link to get the companion workbook with fillable worksheets that has the self-discovery exercises. If you want to know what is truly important to a person, just look at their calendar and their bank account. What they spend their time and money on tells a lot about what's important to them. So to apply this, take an honest look at your calendar or planner or journal and your bank or credit card statements to understand what is most important to you and what you're spending most of your time, money, and energy on. Take an inventory of it. It is highly revealing and will be helpful for you to understand where you have been focusing in your life and business so far. The good news is that if you like the direction you are going in, you can continue to spend your time and money in the same manner. Alternatively, if you do not like the direction you are headed in, you now have the awareness and the choice to do something about it. You can choose to make some changes, allocate valuable resources like your time and your money toward initiatives that will propel you forward toward your business goals and dreams in life. It is important that you own your success or lack thereof and recognize the factors contributing to it. This is so that you can make minor shifts or major redirections as to how you spend your energy in favor of being able to confidently achieve what you say you truly desire. Put in the comments desire if you are noticing at least one shift that you can make and one change you can make in how you're spending your time and energy right now that can help direct you further towards your goal and your dream life. Type in the comments desire and let me know. Also, let me know what is the one shift that you feel like you can make towards your goals and to direct yourself towards your dream life. Share in the comments and I'll continue reading after that. We're almost at the end of the chapter as well. Desire and what is the one shift? And take a moment to think. If you need to think. I see desire, Krista. Great. Any one small change or a shift that you can think of that would boost your confidence, that would lead you in the right direction of your goals and dreams, let me know. And I will continue reading while you think about something. The power of inquiry and self-discovery. Who am I? This is the fundamental question that you need to ask yourself. Yet you don't think to ask this because you have already been given an identity by others, and you have already bought into that as yourself. Kelly says, one shift I want to make is to not seek approval. Yeah, not have the constant need of seeking approval for my confidence. I love that. Thank you for sharing, Kelly. That's a great one to take. When you buy into what society has slapped onto you as your identity, that leaves no space for you to explore that answer from within yourself. What if you were to set aside the identity you have bought into so far and start fresh? I recommend that you start anew with this exploration into self-discovery. Even if you have done this before, especially if you think you have already figured it out for yourself, do it newly, because self-discovery is truly an ongoing journey and not a destination. If you think you have reached it, you've forgotten that it's a never-ending process, and it's in the process that there is magic to be found. When you get that it's a beautiful path that is always evolving, you have arrived. So then, knowing yourself is about cultivating a habit of rediscovering the gift and talents that are meant to be uniquely expressed through you. It is about becoming one with the beauty that is within you and all around you. Knowing yourself, your true self fully, is about creating the space for your authentic expression to show up. There's a quote here. Fall in love with yourself, and you can achieve anything you wish to attain. Take that in for a moment. Let me know in the comments if you are attending live today, if you're with me live today. Let me know, type in desire. Let me know what is the one thing that you are taking away for yourself today as far as one change that you can make towards your goals. And it could just be self-discovery. One shift I would like to make is to see the importance of self-care. Yes, love that, Krista. Prioritize self-care. And self-discovery is also a form of self-care. So self-discovery is a form of self-care as well, and so just throwing that out there for you to consider as well. Barbara says, yes, I strongly believe loving yourself is what we are here to do. Well, that's definitely the beginning, and falling in love with yourself requires getting to know your true self, and that's where the self-discovery journey comes in. This exploration is the most effortless journey you'll ever be on. It is the most natural and spirited adventure you'll embark on. It is also the most rewarding outcome you'll ever achieve in life. Are you ready to hop on this journey with me? I'm ready to be your guide, shining light in the dark places so you can see clearly, showering love on the ignored spaces so you can embrace yourself fully, showing you how to step forward into your authenticity so you can feel fulfilled and on purpose in your everyday life. If yes, hold my hand and let's begin. Then we have another quote. The quote goes like this: confidence is not a function of knowing everything outside of you. Confidence is a function of knowing who you are within yourself. Kelly says, love that, taking away that self-discovery is a form of self-care. Absolutely. It's a much more advanced version of self-care. And confidence is a function of knowing who you are from within yourself so that you can care for and fall in love with who you really are, your true self. Connect with your inner genius. There are many ways to reconnect with your inner genius. Use these to create even more clarity for yourself in your understanding of who you are and your direction of your life and business. Number 1, be in silence and listen to the whispers of your intuition. Pay close attention to the nudges that it gives you. Number 2, be present to the miracle that life is all around you. Notice the birds singing, flowers blooming, breeze blowing as a wind, trees showering their wisdom and contribution in the world. Connect with Mother Nature and be present to your voice, the quiet whisper that calls you back to your true inner nature. The joy and bliss within yourself. Be a witness to that. Number 3, be in gratitude, because a grateful heart is a magnet for miracles. And number 4, be of service in a way that calls to you the most. Don't worry about how you will be compensated for it just yet, because that step will come just a little down the road in this step-by-step process. For now, the priority is to get clarity for yourself on who you are and what calls to you the most. So being of service in a way that feels natural to you is a great way to reconnect with your inner genius. Allow your life's plan to unfold in front of your eyes. Ask yourself who you're truly meant to be, no matter how big or unachievable it may seem. If it is not scary, it is not big enough yet. Think big and dream bigger about your self-image. Then we have a quote. It says, when you fall in love with your true self, you naturally fall in love with life. Most entrepreneurs do not understand their unique strengths. This is why I created the What is your entrepreneurial style quiz. Is your entrepreneurial style left-brained, right-brained, visionary, or purpose-driven? Once you understand your style, you will begin to understand your superpowers as an entrepreneur and be on your way to have unlimited potential for business and income growth. The entrepreneurial style quiz is a powerful tool I have developed which tells the uniqueness of the 4 entrepreneurial styles. Take the quiz to discover your predominant style and how you can leverage it to automatically grow your business. Access the link to the quiz the link is in the book and at the end of the book as well. And discover your innate genius. In this chapter, you have learned the difference between survival and creation mode, connected with your purpose, learned the importance of self-approval, understood the nuances of your comfort zone, gained insights on self-confidence in business, and connected with your inner genius. I recommend downloading the companion workbook if you haven't already and doing the self-discovery exercises in there to truly connect with who you are, your inner genius, and also do the other activities that were mentioned. And with that, we complete chapter 5 of Inner Genius, Outer Guru. Let me know in the comments, type in confidence if you have gained at least 1 or more ways to boost your confidence through everything we talked about today through this chapter. Confidence. And what's your biggest? Kelly already shared Kelly shared, Krista shared. Share what's your biggest takeaway from today that's going to take your confidence to a whole nother level. And I'll give it a few seconds. Type in the comments, what's your biggest takeaway? I see confidence. Yes. Love that. What is your takeaway today that is going to boost your confidence and help you take that to the next level? As we come to the close here and wrap up for today, I'd love to see your takeaway. And you can put that in the comment. If you're watching this on the replay, put hashtag replay. And Krista says self-discovery. Yes, very important. Very important takeaway. Irie Rose says confidence. I learned I can choose growth more, which will help boost my confidence. Yes, that is brilliant. Great takeaway, Irie Rose. Yes, choosing growth over struggle consistently will boost your confidence and take it to the next level every time. Absolutely. Love seeing all of the insights Barbara shared earlier about loving yourself and pouring into self more. Absolutely, yes. Being present with yourself, the whispers of your intuition, connecting with Mother Nature, being present and being in gratitude. Take those, and those will create miracles for you. And with that, we will complete today's event. Thank you for everyone who joined live and everyone who's watching on the replay. And we will continue the next chapter's book reading next week. We will meet it will be on Wednesday, next Wednesday instead of Friday. So I'm traveling on Friday. So you will see the event is in Barbara says, girl, I meditated today until I melted in the heat. Wow. Well, meditation, great. Well, I hope it was a valuable experience. Well, for you, except for the heat. But yeah, next week we will meet on Wednesday for the next chapter. So RSVP in the events tab for the next one. If you can make it live, or even if you can't make it live, definitely RSVP and say interested, so then you will get all the notifications and you can watch it on the replay. I was appreciating the day even if hot. Yes, I can feel that you were in gratitude. You must have really focused so that you... Great to see all the comments. All right, we will close with that, and we'll see everyone next week. Have a great rest of your day and the weekend, everyone. Bye-bye.